Let me have a look. I've never booted this up before. Sync, yes, please. Motion blur, no, please. Quality medium. I wonder if I could do better. Okay, high is the highest. We'll see if high destroys everything. Subtitles, yes. Invert, no. Seems okay. 59 hertz. Yeah, for some reason, it's always 1 hertz less than, than my monitor. Like back when I had 144, the games would always be 143, and I was like, okay. It's just what it is. Okay. Ew. Odd. Yeah. I mean, no matter, I've switched almost basically every single component in my PC, and I've changed the monitor, and like it's always the same. Not in every game, but in most games. New game, let's go. New game, who dis? Who dis? Yeah, I like, as if I care, like Steam still says that this is 60 FPS. 1 hertz taxi tune. Hey Jerry, this is not a horror game, but whether or not you consider it scary, I have no idea. This is not a pipe. Oh, reminds me of like, that's not a door. AI research, the influence of social media and brain scanning technology have led to 3 important developments. The creation of the TSB, Technology Safeguard Bureau, whose mission is to maintain democratic structures safe from the abuse of technology. Complex international brain scanning regulations that protect private data. The undeniable tension between the world's biggest economies and in the wake of a new AI breakthroughs. Under this context, the Dreamwalker project, which performs academic research on the human mind through AI-assisted brain scanning technology, has been under scrutiny. You had to make a collaborative deal with the new TSB to keep your research alive.
Let me take a picture of you with the box.
A picture? Why?
It's part of the protocol.
Oh, okay.
I don't need to remind you how sensitive the material is.
I know. Thanks.
Good.
Is it too loud?
Take care.
I was too slow. I was too slow. Was the sound, was it too loud? Should I turn down the volume? It's great. Okay, so you can still hear me and everything. Cool. No touch. Okay. Seems it's actually 59.94.
Did you receive it?
It just arrived.
Good. Listen,
Okay.
priority is to find the real cause of death. Early reports indicate suicide, a drug overdose.
I'll accept
but
that.
I don't buy it. It doesn't make sense. She was too important and the timing was odd.
She was a lawyer at GoAT, right?
More like the vice president.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So now you see how deeply in trouble you'd be if anything leaks out.
You're putting me in a tough spot here, Tom.
Not if you're careful, Russell. Just make sure nothing leaks out.
Why not wait for the full autopsy? Why do you need me?
We need to move faster, and if there's something bigger going on, we need to investigate it. This is a one-time chance to catch them. GoAT has been dodging us for way too long.
So you want me to spy on them through her memories?
No, I just want you to find out how she died, which is legal. But if I'm right, it will take us somewhere nasty. I know there's something off. We just need to find out what.
All right. I'll do what I can.
Good. Remember, it's because of these people we're here in the first place.
Well, we don't know anything yet.
We will, Russell. I've been in this for too long to know it's not just suicide. You'll see. So, I've given you access to her apartment on Stratford Avenue. They're about to wrap it up over there, but Detective Stan Becker's waiting for you. He knows you're coming. If you want to investigate the real place, you should head out there now.
All right. I'll check it out.
Okay then, I'll leave you to it. Don't keep Stan waiting, and keep me posted on anything you find.
Sure. See ya.
Investigate box, meet Stan. Okay, first of all, I just remembered something. You're not gonna see anything for 2 seconds. Don't freak out. And we're back. Okay. I was too lazy to do it the fancy way when you wouldn't notice anything. Good voice acting. Yeah, I like it so far. Also, you guys did not see my objectives. Should I be like up here maybe? Maybe that's good. Because the objectives were like right underneath me. We'll see if anything, if nothing appears in the top left corner, then this is perfect. Joanna Cast? Is that a T? 2009 before entering Goat. Uh-huh. I freaking love my yellow pants. Can I see my yellow pants again? Show subtitles F1. Oh, perfect. Johanna was the vice president at Goat and one of the younger top executives in the technology industry. Known to be efficient, smart, ruthless, and determined, she has been credited as Goat's highest valued asset in the last 5 years. With a strong understanding of management, laws, markets, and technology, she won the Inno Award in 2013, being the first woman in the world to receive it. Case information. High-profile executive found dead in apartment. Apparent drug overdose, antidepressives. Husband found her dead on August 29, 3:15 p.m. Called immediately at her own apartment, located at Jules Stranford Avenue. Online life. Facebook. Last post is from 2014. What day is it now? Is it 2020? Twitter. Last post is from 2016 about a conference she gave. Personal email johanna_cast01@t.com. Corporate email johanna@goat.com. Apparently mail has been deleted. Apparently due to the corporate restrictions, Johanna didn't have an active online social life. This department. Last known picture taken by Laura Paz, apparently her best friend, 2 days before her death. That one. Right. Okay. That was the case info. Scan report. Digital... I'll just rather read. Wait, it doesn't say digital brain disk generation. Can we not look at that? That's a thick book. Is this some sort of hard drive? Investigate box sold. Meet Stan at Johanna's apartment. Now you can see. That's awesome. Okay. Before we do that, let's have a look what's going on. Final verdict from Supreme Court on Hallmark case of former President Caffrey. This week, the Supreme Court denied the appeal over terrorism charges of the group self-dubbed the Highwaymen, who were convicted over a string of fake videos and audios impersonating several officials up to and including former President Caffrey. This group was apprehended by the action of the now famous NSA, CIA, FBI Joint Task Force. Oh wow. They're all just one bureau now? Soon after their arrest, Congress passed the Information Technologies Bureau Act, creating the TSB, of which the Joint Task Force became its core group. Following the group's creation, Congress also passed a law penalizing the creation, storage, and distribution of video and audio deepfakes without expressing permission from the falsified subject, and strengthened penalties for impersonating federal or state officials. This is... CSI wasn't invited. This is actually really interesting. The F1 is a bit weird of a button, but that's fine. It's alright.
The idea was an office lab hybrid.
What's this? Can we build an IKEA furniture? The mirror stage. The mirror stage was one of the first concepts which Lacan worked on at the beginning of his teaching in his essay, The Mirror Stage as a Formator of the Function of the Ego, I, as it is revealed to us in the psychoanalytic experience. He based himself on the work of Henry Wallin on the pregnancy of the image of the other's body for some species, but also for the human baby. In relation to the image pregnancy, we have the notable example of pigeons, whose development of the reproductive system would be intimately linked to the vision of their congeners? Isolated pigeons do not develop their gonads. I don't understand these words. It's too high-tech for me. Likewise, in the case of the human body, the importance of the mirror, as well as the body and the words of others, is vital. Much of the image we have of ourselves depends on the other. The self would be a function that comes from the other. The experience of the child who still does not have a complete proprioception of his body due to the maturation of his nervous apparatus, who does not have a unitary idea of it, does not recognize himself in the mirror until he is more or less 8 months old. Before that, his own image is to himself another being. In the mirror experience, a unitary image of himself is returned to him in advance, which, as such, is still misleading since it is inverted. Thanks to the words of another, who will confirm that that's you, the child will come to be recognized in this image. However, if we reflect on this scene of recognition, there is even filmic documentation of the moment when, with glee and also with strangeness and amazement, the child recognizes himself for the first time in the mirror. It is still interesting to capture that, before the child is able to articulate a word, the first thing that is placed is a you and not an I that captures the child in the image. The root of the self is always external, and to a certain extent it never ceases to be. It suffices to remember the feeling of strangeness before an unusual angle of our image in a photograph, or, in the extreme, the experience of an anorexic who does not stop seeing in the mirror a strange element in his body that must be removed. Damn, this is like really... I know it's kind of, you know, boring to just read stuff, but what if the reading stuff is like very, very interesting? In the same way, the words and gestures of others, especially our family, that are directed to us determine our conception of ourselves, what we call the ego function. The parents speak of the child and also speak to him. They gesticulate towards him. All of this sediments certain images, encourages certain aspects, and dismisses others. As such, there is a dialogue that is established in an immanent way and does not need to be explicitly said for it to be there. We must remember that what is not said is as important as what is actually said. The main idea that Lacan transmitted in this sense, and that made him generalize the stage in the mirror as something that always works, beyond a certain stage in the child's development, is that the function of the ego is something that is always being built in relation with others and takes as criteria the desirability on the social sphere, which is situated in the ideal images in a certain specific social and political context. Neurotic conditions are, in this sense, related to the mirror function that fulfills the social context, and especially the family. Neurotic conditions arise from the complex, problematic relationship that humans have with the desire of others. The fundamental question would be, what does the other want from me, or what am I to the other? And there's the source. I think this might be an actual investigation, like, see how, like, is JP Bustamante a real person or someone invented for this game? Okay, interesting. What does that have to do with our game, though? What are my controls? Oh my goodness, help! Switch active raw data. Place raw data. Use self for control panel or switch states. Review objectives. Shift to speed. Okay, I was trying to find crouch and I couldn't, so I was thinking. Ask Evie. Who's Evie? We could have a cuppa if we wanna. I don't wanna press that. That seems like we're gonna leave.
There's been a lot of shutdowns lately, and this building's electrical grid is just as old. So I got a backup.
Okay, cool. We've got a generator. So I'm thinking, whatever this chair does, if we're sitting in it and the power goes out, we won't be lost in void. That's pretty nice.
It works, but the sound.
Yeah, now that you mention, I do kind of hear it. Although I would have guessed it's these servers.
I can't believe the loss of performance after adapting them to comply with the new laws. Times are changing indeed. This was the first thing I brought in here.
The yellow cupboard. Awesome. An old PC case. Anything to look at?
I really need a new partner. Hard to replace Carl, though.
What happened to Carl? I hope he didn't die. I hope he just, like, quit or was transferred.
Carl liked to read this nonsense. I never figured out how such a great scientist was able to pour so much time in reading clickbait articles. He once said he could draw global connections through them.
Clickbait article. Okay. What was Carl into then? Rumors of lawsuits on babies born from DNA-enhanced parents. CRISPR-enhanced people have copyrighted genes added to their DNA. The letter. Newspaper name. I am being sued for my baby. Title. Here at the letter, we have learned to expect the unexpected because something new will always turn up. According to our sources, patients that underwent the medical trials for the exogen treatment have recently been contacted by their legal team and warned them that while their treatment covered, any children from patients were not. This treatment directly affects the genetic material. Damn, it's hard to see. Of the patients and scrubs them of possible genetic diseases. In the documents the letter has been able to obtain, there is also mentioned that in certain cases the DNA strands passed on to offspring might also benefit from the use of exogen. With this information we attempted to track down participants of the study. No, CRISPR is a real thing that's being developed. Spooky. This is how we found Chris and Elle person. A pregnant couple who had signed up for the Exogen trials due to his proclivity to lung cancer and hers to glaucoma. Oh, so does that mean that, you know, they're prone to these diseases, but like if they go through this, whatever this DNA enhancement thing is, that their child wouldn't be? Is that how it works? Chris tells us, it's horrible. They own my reproductive organs. He might have said something more like, cock. Meanwhile, Elle laughs. When they called us, she says, and told us we could be liable, we just couldn't believe it. We barely have enough to scrape by. We can't afford lawyers or payments. This baby may be born into debt. It's the stuff from the dark sci-fi films. The names of everyone involved have been changed according to their wishes. Imagine that you own the copyrights of your DNA. Like, that's something that ever crossed my mind. Maybe, yeah. That could be a thing.
I need to start over again.
Oh man. Does anyone understand this? To me, it's just like triggering bad memories. Although I don't think we never had anything quite like this, but it still triggers something. Okay, we can insert disk, but is there anything
I've got nothing to put in there.
Maybe that's something that we can analyze stuff with?
Development logs of patch 1.2. Probably the most important update to date, and Carl's last contribution to the project.
Log 1, raw data. Okay. No, with that attitude, you don't.
All right. I have a temporary solution for when Evie can't interpret some part of a memory, but it requires manual input. So, let's say the data was a chair. While Evie can't interpret it is a chair, or where it should be, she's still able to produce a 3D geometrical output with sound, and that output is based on data which does have meaning. The problem is that it doesn't fit anywhere, and it doesn't make sense to her. So, what I did was to allow Evie to still represent this failed reconstruction in an encapsulated manner that we can look at, inside the memory space, so we can interpret it. I made a quick interface for inspection too. So, in other words, we can now assist Evie at interpreting the data by using our special human skills. We just have to tell her what it could be and where it should belong, and she should be able to narrow the margin enough to make it part of the reconstruction again.
Question. Is it always about something missing, like a chair or another object? Or can it be a subjective thing that doesn't belong anywhere?
It could be a subjective thing, yes, but that would be rare, as it's more likely to become a subjective entity or part of the subjective environment somehow. Shouldn't be represented as missing data.
Okay.
Can happen, though. Would be interesting to see.
Yeah. This is great, Carl. We're so close.
Evening, Joda. How you doing? Okay. I'd like to check log 2. I want to check all the logs. Okay. Awesome. Good morning.
Okay. So, reason to celebrate. We can now make an objective reconstruction.
So, it worked.
My original approach didn't, but the machine learning approach did.
These are your memories you're using, right?
Yeah. for now.
So many spoons.
Cool. So what I did is to isolate a memory of a specific place, and then made the machine compare it with real footage of that same place, taken exactly at the same moment that the memory was made. So instead of trying to find out how to filter a memory out of its subjective experience, I just let the machine attempt it through trial and error. It basically iterates reconstructions of my memory by randomly filtering unclassified data. And the random reconstructions that match the footage the most get selected, and a new round of random reconstructions begin. Eventually, the filtering is narrowed down to data that is more and more reduced in size. And after a while, the solution is basically the same as the footage, just more glitchy and blurry.
And did you test it with different types of memories?
Nothing too extreme in terms of emotional distress yet, but yes, all types of memories and places. I've been carrying a camera for quite a while now.
I like it, but I think that you still need a bigger test pool to truly call it objective. I mean, you could be introducing bias by how you're making these memories.
That's true. But currently, the places consistently match in size, shape, color. The sounds are getting clearer. While it's not perfect yet, it's robust enough to be certain that if anything bigger than, for example, the size of a tennis ball appears in an objective reconstruction, and if that isn't too blurry or glitchy, it means it was just there. The error margin is simply too small now.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing is we can
I
start
agree.
classifying and understanding this data now by going backwards.
Yeah, I want to take a look at that.
It's all uploaded.
Awesome, Russell.
The longest you've gone in the stream without getting scared by something. That is amazing. I guess I play a lot of scary games, huh? Do I? I don't know how to like smoothly browse the different logs, but this is fine.
Okay, so now, besides switching states, we can actually sort of
Sorry,
fast
not
travel
sorry.
to different memories and events inside that memory. As we know, time is still an issue, as you can go back or further in time inside a single memory. So, I thought it would be handy to have some sort of database of memories and their events as you reconstruct them. It also captures visual references as you progress, so it will help us remember a bit about each reconstruction, as it gets confusing sometimes. So this is very rough, but basically what you do is choose a memory from the subject's lifeline, and then if that memory is split into sub-events, you can select them and reconstruct that specific moment in time. It's pretty simple, actually.
That's very handy.
Yep. And if you ever manage to do that objective filter, I made it easy to divide each event into objective and subjective, so they can be selected through here as well.
Thanks for thinking about that. We will make this work.
Well, we've already talked about it, but I'll say this. Even if it doesn't work, we'll reach that truth through subjectivity itself.
Don't let anyone hear you saying that.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, it does say click to exit. That's the first time I've seen that. But it's like really interesting because I feel like many of these are actual issues of the future, or like maybe even present for all we know. Like deepfake videos and such, like that shit is kind of scary in my opinion. So in that sense, yeah, I do agree with Gratchev that this is kind of horror, but I don't think this is like spooky sort of horror at any means. This is too real. This is too real horror. You're not sweating yet, that's good.
Very minor upgrade to the control panel this week. If we discover raw data, then try to use it somewhere, and then forget to pick it up, Evie will know where we left it, so she can recall it. I put a small input there in the control panel to do just that.
Perfect. I'm absolutely going to forget them.
Yeah, I was thinking of you.
Thanks.
Okay, on my side, I coded a small
How
feature
does
this
Sim-
week as well. If you need feedback from Evie about anything, she can now temporarily use more resources to process it. Technically, she will use more RAM to freeze a lot of secondary processes and then continue from that image. And if the RAM is not enough, she'll use our disks. So basically, a lot more processing power will be available for a few seconds, and the memory shouldn't shut down.
Perfect. Great.
Your KVM switch seems to be working. I don't know what that is, but this sounds good. Reality is too scary. Please go back to spoopy ghosts. Yeah, I know. Also, I'm like, at the same time, I'm like fascinated about this. And I can't wait to like actually play the game, but I want to make sure
Just a
I
quick
understand as
update on
much as
Evie.
possible first.
We've uploaded a few more natural language modules that have really improved her speech. But the biggest upgrade is a module that allows her to learn from us. It does use some processing power, but it's worth it. The biggest gains occur when she is actually on a conversation and being challenged, instead of relying only on big data analysis. So since she's learning from us all the time, we should try to speak to her naturally. Be polite with her, explain things, correct her when she makes linguistic errors, and so on. The clearer our language, the clearer she'll be when trying to interpret data to us later.
Is it actually listening to me? You can use one set of keyboard, mouse, mic, headphones with 2 computers. Oh, I've heard of that sort of stuff. It was recommended to me while I still had 2 PCs set up. But I never went through with it. Because back then I kind of liked having everything separate so that I don't accidentally destroy the stream while trying to do something in the game. Morbid fascination. I guess so, yeah. Saves a lot of space. Oh, yes. Definitely. I totally get you. That's one of the reasons why I went to just a single computer. Yeah. If I had to use a dock for my laptop, then that would be very useful. Luckily,
Is
I
it
can
on?
do
Yes.
remote
Okay,
desktop,
Russell.
so that's fine.
I think it needs just a few more days. I could use some testing, though.
Count on it. This weekend?
That'd be great, but weren't you going to meet with Laura?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Monday then.
Cool. So, subjective entities. As we decided, the understanding of subjectivity should be handled from different angles to avoid bias. So this particular angle is all about allowing the data to speak for itself, so to speak. I didn't want to rush into applying any concept we feel safe to talk about yet. So I first isolated data that had these characteristics: lack of particular location, lack of predefined shape, lack of overall consistency, a strong erratic influence on other memory data, and of course that AI doesn't get close to interpret it. So with this data, instead of forcing Evie to interpret something out of it, I allowed it to sort of latch to human and animal behavior patterns. Let me explain this. I mapped thousands of different behaviors into patterns, and then allowed the machine to brute force similarities between these patterns and the original uninterpreted data. If these are found, they can complement each other, because after a while, the data will have some behaviors more suited to itself than others. And with a little push, they can work as a vehicle to express the data. It's still far off to get something objective about it, but it allows for a lot of guesswork about what is the subjective thing that's going on in the memory. For example, let's say the subjective data is some sort of tense nervousness. Then there is a chance a subjective entity is introduced into the reconstruction to make sense of some of the data that has a behavior typical of tension and nervousness. I'm aware that there are layers of interpretation here. But thankfully, the pool sample is huge, and the good thing is that we can do investigative work with this. If we analyze the data carefully and start to challenge these behaviors, it can't lead to an objective conclusion, but it can lead to something if other aspects of the memory support the hypothesis that can come out of these behaviors. What do you think?
I love it. It allows us to investigate further without closing any doors.
I knew you'd get it. It's just having a bigger expression range for the subconscious. That's all we need for now.
I'm not sure I get it. Dropping support for connecting into workstations from personal computers? How do they determine which is which is a workstation and which is a personal computer? Also, is it getting late? No, it's just somehow... It's dark sometimes. Okay, 3 more logs, then we're done with us. I know you're eager to see me play.
Should I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so after some serious wrestling with time, always a complex subject, we have a new feature for our time-based reconstruction problems.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. So since it's difficult to freeze one specific moment over a large space, there's always the chance that time variations are too large and that they introduce errors to the reconstruction. So when Evie does find a part of a memory which has a range of moments available, like for example, someone walking from his room to the backyard, and sometimes it's not enough time to make it a different memory event. So what I did, in order to make use of that information, is that if that room-backyard range fits into the maximum time threshold of the event, Evie will now introduce a control that we can use to warp time on that specific object, instead of choosing one part and discarding the rest, so we can see the whole sequence without disturbing the rest of the memory. Thanks.
Cool. They have separate VPN solutions. Oh, so... I still don't get it. Is it something that's like specific to a single corporation or something that one for non-managed computers? Huh. Home office is a real security challenge. How so?
So, avatars are like a quick adaptation of the subjective entity's work. After a while, we've been able to classify subjective entities based on a few characteristics, like aggressiveness, amount of reaction to the other elements in the memory, and a big list that we can go through later. But what I discovered is that some of the entities are fully passive, meaning that they do not express behavior, but other entities do react to them. So, they are part of the subjective behavior web, but passive. So what I did is make a small hack to use their influence at our will. So it allows us to investigate other entities.
So we can control them.
I wouldn't say truly controlling them, but we can move them around and see how they influence the rest of the subjective space. It's only a spatial thing for now, but it can be really helpful to study how the patterns react to each other.
You have additional potential weaknesses with the connection to the local computer and the local machine itself, and as you as a company have little control over the local user machine unless you hand it out yourself. Are you talking about explicitly like the remote desktop thing? Or are you talking about my home internet? People are more likely to click a malicious Facebook ad on a personal computer. Sure, okay. Last log, then we should be pros at this.
Okay, Still working on the on-the-fly scanning project. It's still a long way to go, but I'm moving in the right direction. The head needs to be fully constrained, though. That's what I'm solving right now. Just moving a bit slow with everything that's happened lately. Yeah, logs will probably stop for a while, until things normalize a bit.
Normalize? Hold on a second, what are you talking about? What is not normal right now? Alright, that was all the logs. Like, is this Eevee? I think it would be much bigger if it can scan like a whole room. Your IT department has control over the machines in your company network, but not over the private ones, so they can manage security settings there. Right, but if I'm using my work computer at home, that doesn't really add insecurities, does it? We live at the time of remote work, so this is important.
This'll take a while. I should visit her apartment while the memory gets ready.
Okay. Okay, so I think we're getting into this machine. Is this a... Yeah, I think you stand in there. I think we're actually gonna visit the apartment then. That does work, still the connection is a weakness. Where they can try man-in-the-middle attacks. When people use personal computers for work, the company can't control it. Right, but who uses their personal computer for work? Am I still using it if I'm only using it to take a remote connection? Whoa. Okay, I see Joanna's apartment. Is this a real city? Does anyone recognize it? 1 second. Oh my god. Someone rang the doorbell. But I wasn't quick enough to answer it, and the connection was lost. And they didn't try again. It was like, I have like a parcel, a random parcel that I have not like agreed a time with. Was probably that. No, now I have to go pick it up from some place. I don't even know where. Remember how quickly we all went into the home office? No. Wait. Everyone had a work computer. No way everyone had a work computer. Right, so you're talking in general, not about what I was explaining about my stuff. They never wait long enough. It's like, I mean, down at the, like, at the door of the building, they have to press, you know, the buzzer. And I think it's the buzzer software, hardware thingy that just like times out. But that was super quick though. It's never happened before that I haven't been, you know, quick enough. I don't know what the heck just happened. I just like muted and ran there. I would probably take longer if I was laying on the bed, and I've answered the door before while laying on the bed. We've been using personal computers to SSH into our workstations over a VPN, but IT wants to phase that out and get us all company managed laptops. Oh. Makes home office setup awkward though. Yeah, see, I have my laptop here, which is controlled by the IT. So I think I'm fine. Evil buzzer software. I don't know. It's annoying because it's broken anyway. Like, it's supposed to have a camera so that I can see who's there, but the camera's fucked up. I see shit. I see absolute nothing. You're not gonna work on a laptop? Yeah, same. That's why I take remote control of my laptop. That's like over there in the same Wi-Fi. And I take a connection into it from here. That way I don't have to have like a dock that connects to my monitors and a separate keyboard and a separate mouse. I can have all my current hardware and just like connect to it. I really like the setup. I think it's very convenient. IT wouldn't want you to do that either. What are the biggest risks of that? Why wouldn't they want that? Oh, hello.
Hey, Russell, right?
Hi.
Tom said you'd come. Feel free to take a look around, but don't touch anything. And let me know if you have any questions.
I can't touch anything? They have no idea what is running on the personal non-managed device. How would that affect the other device?
Yeah?
Do you have any theories about what happened?
It's a little early yet, but everything points to suicide. There are lots of loose ends as to why, especially considering who she was. The laptop, for example, is gone. We haven't been able to find it, so who knows how deep that thing goes. Even so, I don't think there's a possibility someone sneaked in and forced her to take some pills somehow. But don't take my word for it. We don't even have the full autopsy report yet.
You have malware on your personal device and remote into the managed device. The malware now has access to the managed device. Does it?
Who found her?
Didn't you get the report? It was her husband.
Okay, yeah, I read that.
Do you know anything else about him?
His name is Alex. Pretty average guy. Fitness trainer. The victim had kicked him out a few months ago. They were about to get a divorce. He came by to pick up some stuff he'd left here.
Could he have been angry about the divorce?
Yeah. But as I said, she'd been dead for at least 6 hours before he got here. So if somehow he forced her to take an overdose over the phone, then yeah, he could have done it.
Can't assume it doesn't. Right. So like the antivirus thing on the work computer cannot anyhow detect it if it doesn't, like, I don't why wouldn't it detect it?
Did she leave any children or family?
No children, no brothers or sisters, foreign parents that she didn't see much. For now, that's all I know. And a husband. Pretty regular corporate profile, if you ask me.
Thanks.
No problem.
Look at this view.
Go AT's new project.
She must have been rich.
Quite a view.
She must have been loaded to have a view like this. Tomato, me need tomato. How would the managed device tell the difference between you remoting in or something else on your personal device remoting in? It would look the same. Uh, the fact that I don't do anything malicious on the work computer, but the malicious thing is malicious.
Probably her last meal.
Well, if that was the last meal, that was a shitty one.
The great shaman Po, master of mirrors, has passed away on his 100th birthday, dated July 12th.
Is that the same mirrors dude that had written the... No, it was not Shaman Po who wrote the article. However, it was about mirrors. Domino, sugar cores.
Probably her last meal.
Yeah. How does it know that it's malicious? If you're talking about like an actual human being taking control, like, I don't know. How does antivirus detect a virus? How does it know it's not just me? I don't know how this works. This is an interesting discussion. Okay, but that... Okay, never mind. There's a glass railing, but it's too small for my liking. I would not go outside. I would not step on this balcony. Ever. Whoa, this TV.
It's getting late.
And wow. I am not a fan of this house. I would not want to live here, except for the view, maybe. Maybe. But glass stairs? No thanks. It would take some pretty specific malware to do it. The way Gretchev is implying it's doing it. Or...
Looks like where the body was.
So she was laying on bed, overdosed.
G-Zac sleeping pills. You need a prescription for these.
I mean, she could have had a prescription for these pills, but why would she take too many? Cool shoes. Can I take a look at number 6, please? Is that like a scotch bottle there?
Clearly she'd been drinking.
Right.
Broken.
I wonder if she was looking at herself and like hating herself, and then she was like, I don't want to live anymore. I have a sweater just like that.
Looks like an expensive mask.
Interesting that that's marked as evidence. Why? It could be just like a costume party thing. So you've been spearphished and someone's managed to drop a remote access tool onto your personal device. They could then do whatever specific things they'd need to jump over to the managed device. Right. But wouldn't it be the exact same risk that I have been spearphished while working on my work computer and had it that way? Like, the weak link there is me then, not my PC, my personal computer. Sounds more like manual hacking, that automated malware software. Don't think it's very high risk for the average office worker. Yeah, I guess you have to be really targeted. Like, they know who you are, what you do, that
Another
sort of thing.
broken mirror. I don't think it's a coincidence.
But I guess if that's the case, then sure, maybe it increases the risk.
Bloody footprints. She probably stepped on the broken shards.
The company has control over what technical security measures are implemented on the managed device, but not on your personal device. So you think they would be able to catch that spearfishing method?
Vomit.
Well, she missed the toilet. This mirror has been broken too. I don't know if she was puking because of alcohol or maybe the pills. Like, maybe she regretted it. Who knows? Maybe... How did I end up here? Maybe she tried to puke the pills. Everything went to shit, though. I think these glass stairs are you. That's the worst.
Yeah?
Who found her?
Didn't you get the report? It was her husband.
Okay, but...
What time did he find her?
The morning after, and called right away. The security cameras corroborate the time he arrived, so we don't have any reason to suspect him.
Thanks.
No problem.
Okay, I missed that time thing. How does one even get onto the balcony? Is one of these a door and I'm supposed to figure out which one? There's a pool and everything. Because she was bleeding so much that she left bloody footprints. It could be any reason, really. Am I done here? I don't know what else to do. Okay. It looks like we are free to go whenever, wherever. As long as we have a destination in mind. Use the Dreamwalker machine to enter Johanna's last memories. Ooh, now we're getting to the exciting part. Upload complete.
Upload is ready.
So, like, do I step into this
Evie,
thing?
ready?
Yes.
Okay, good. Please operate on patch 1.2. And scan for the latest memory you can find, ideally just before her death.
Understood.
So we are allowed to go into her memories to investigate her death. That's legal. Apparently that's legal, but there was like other... Just like going there for no reason is not legal.
So this is when she died.
Find objective information on Johanna's death. I mean, I get it, and this is very impressive if you would imagine that this is real. Then I'd say this is pretty damn impressive. Okay, her shadow is there, it's kind of creepy.
Reconstructing glass from memories. I don't think we'll ever get it right.
Right, yeah.
Afternoon light. Didn't she die at night?
This was supposed to be the last available memory. Why is it so early then? I guess if we really like needed to know what that lump on the table is, we could go back to her apartment and like try to see if it's still there. Okay, the clock's not doing so well, but what is this?
Hello there, Joanna.
Hello.
Interesting glitch on the clock.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Does it have something to do with maybe, you know, it doesn't really match the time of the day we were expecting? Alright, but here should be the interesting part.
Lots of missing information here, Evie. This doesn't seem to be the right moment.
Yes. I wasn't able to pinpoint any further coordinates. Objective data is incomplete.
Reasons?
High emotional state.
She might have known she was going to die. Is there enough data to reconstruct a subjective state of the memory?
Yes.
Good. I'll enter the subjective state and see what I can find.
Didn't it use sound to reconstruct things? It may have been?
Subjective reconstruction was successful, but I couldn't interpret all data.
It's fine, Evie. Subjective interpretation is tough for any AI, even a special one like you.
Oh, she's special. This is memory data retrieved from sight and hearing. Subjective data uses all memory data available, including emotions and the subconscious. Okay. Okay. Let me try this, because like last time my screenshot button did not work. Did that do anything? Okay, now it works. That's so weird. Why didn't it work yesterday? Okay.
That ladder goes down to the first floor.
Hmm. Hey, Midnight. Can't hang out today. Work, but enjoy your work. Enjoy your work. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Oh, are we gonna hear some toilet sounds? Heck yeah.
I can't make sense of this sound.
Is it a radio? Having two sounds though makes me think it could also be a phone call or something.
I can't make sense of this sound.
I thought it says listen, listen, but it could be backwards too. So I can't really make sense of anything. This looks really cool. I wonder if we could like go down to the first floor, because we can't go in here. And does first floor mean like... Oh, hey! Does it mean like the very bottom of... No, wait, hold on a second. Guess it's just on like... on my apartment's first floor.
Could this be her as a
Not
child?
mine. Her apartment. The what?
In the objective, adult version of her isn't represented. Only her shadow.
Wait, what did you say?
Could mean so many things. Looks like a girl. Looks like a girl.
What did you say? The first line.
Evie, there seems to be a bugged reconstruction here. No way to fix it, right?
There is incomplete data linked to this coordinate. Shouldn't be too far.
I need to find the data to reconstruct this. The data is linked to this spot.
It's like something's blocking me here. Hidden room? Yeah, I wonder if I can, like, go back to the actual apartment. There's somebody here. I feel like there could be someone there. Is everything getting more fucked, or did I just not see this right? I wonder if stuff's changed upstairs too. This looks definitely different than... Oh yeah, it was because we did the subjective data as well. That's probably why it looks different. No, everything is still the same. Can we... wait? How do you leave this simulation? Wait a second, something's happening over here.
It belongs somewhere in the memory, but I cannot interpret it. I need to know what it is and where it belongs.
All right. I'll study it and put it in the right place.
In this interface, you can attempt to interpret them. I know what they are. How do I get it back? I think it might be the clock. How do I go back to it?
There was something here in the objective state. Evie, do a match with clock data at this spot.
I wanted to try and reconstruct it, but I somehow failed. There's a train track.
We've done it!
Oh, hey. We can go to this room now. Can I get off? Yo, hold on a second.
A picture of a dog. Following her?
Ow! No, I don't wanna. Okay. Okay. So. The dog is following me. Cute dog.
Picture of a dog. Following her?
I think it may be an actual dog. But we remember it from the picture or something. That's kind of creepy. There's a child in the bed.
A spider web. No way out. A spider web. No way out.
But what about the kid? Isn't that... Or did he say something about that she saw herself as a child? 'Cause that's what I missed, and that's what annoys me. Now that clock thing is following me. Do I have to go back? Because I keep pressing E because I don't know what it does. Do I have to place it here? I don't know. See, I don't know how to do the playback thing. Change speed, hold. I'm holding it. Zoom out. Ask Evie.
Processing. I can't interpret the new raw data, but the spikes in the readings suggest an intense, violent moment.
Okay, let's pick it up.
Reminder. At your discretion, I can momentarily free memory and processing power to deliver more accurate feedback. Processing. I can't interpret the new raw data, but the spikes in the readings suggest an intense, violent moment.
Well, the violent moment happened in the bed, right? Or somewhere here. If I press E now. Screen info. You can rotate the raw data to find clues in its shape. This rotation in space will be reset upon exiting the screen. You can affect the time if the raw data probably to hear the sounds it stores and how it morphs through time. This position in time will be reset. Each raw data is a fragment of a memory that could not be placed on its correct position. You must find clues in its shape and how it morphs through time to find where it belongs. I see. I don't know how to use the playback though. Oh. I understand. Is it a... What the heck? How do I get it back to being a ball? What is this? Glass shattering? Yeah, there's definitely a shatter. Maybe it is just a mirror. I don't know about you, but I don't see a mirror in this though. We can try it here. Well, it's definitely like there's nothing there right now.
No mirror.
Put it.
Seems close. Maybe in the objective state.
Processing. I can't interpret the new raw data, but the spikes in the...
Seems close. Maybe in the objective state.
How do I get back to the objective state? Shout me when you see how to... Switch states is hold Q. Okay. Okay.
Maybe this is the right moment. The water is running. The raw data should work here.
Okay, so I placed it here now.
Evie, do a match right here with a mirror being violently broken.
Evie is typing on the computer. Okay, we've got a partial hand.
What is this hand doing here? You were right, Tom. She wasn't alone. Should be good enough evidence to keep him satisfied for now.
Should I shut down the simulation?
Please, go ahead.
No, I don't get it.
Shutting down in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Russell. Any good news?
It wasn't a clear reconstruction, but I managed to get some objective evidence. There was a clear hand next to her, just when she was lying on her bed, and the pills were all over the floor. So it seems you may be right. There was definitely somebody with her.
A hand. That's all you could find.
Well, Tom, I'm just getting started. Her last memories are fuzzy, and that's probably because of the psychological stress she was under. The fact that she wasn't alone is a good start.
Yeah, good to know. But we need to know who it was so we can do something about it.
I'll keep looking, Tom. Let's just hope the rest of the memories are in better shape.
I hope so. Did you find anything else?
I saw a lot of other things. I just need to understand her unconscious better.
It's fine, Russell. Just keep looking, but I need something else from you. We need to get into her private email. The password. We were able to hack the words, but there are 3 numbers at the start that we don't know. We have only a few shots at this, so that's why I need you.
Her password? I'd like to avoid that.
Listen, Russell, we're here precisely to avoid tech industry fuck-ups like in the past, and finding the password is aligned with that goal.
You're here because of that. My research had nothing to do with all of it.
Russell, just send us the scan and inspection report as legally required, and there will be no issues, I promise. We're counting on you for this one. The password ends with Namahs. Namahs. But it's preceded by 3 numbers. We have 3 to 4 tries with this password at most, so when you have something, call me.
It's not that simple. There are major consequences.
I'll wait for your call. Bye, Russell.
Damn it.
Find the 3 starting digits. Well, great. Okay, we're going
Evie.
back.
We need to find that password. But most importantly, how and why she died. If you can isolate memories or dreams that may have a connection with the password, or emotional patterns similar to those of her death.
A deep search is needed to find such patterns. It will take time.
Yeah, I know. I could use some rest anyway.
Understood. Search will run overnight.
Optimize the processes as much as you can. Good night, Evie.
Thank you. Good night.
Where do I live? Where do I sleep? Home. Perfect.
Home sweet home. There's never enough time.
What do we have here? Let's see. On the occasion of the commemoration of the birth of Dr. Jacques Lacan, April 13, 1901, one of the most important thinkers of the last century, who made important contributions to the understanding of human subjectivity and reinvented the field of research in psychoanalysis, we have interviewed the Chilean psychoanalyst Juan Pablo Bustamante. This dude wrote the Mirror article, didn't he? Member of the World Association of Psychoanalysis, AMP. Here is an excerpt I think it's excerpt of the interview we concluded. It is said that one of the most important concepts of Dr. Lacan introduced in the field of psychoanalysis, which allowed us to better understand Sigmund Freud's research on the unconscious, is the concept of the signifier. Would you care to elaborate on this concept for the general public? Oh my goodness. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate in your magazine. I'm always grateful for the spaces to spread psychoanalysis to the public, since sometimes its formulations can be difficult and many of them are against common sense. Indeed, the concept of signifier was very important in Dr. Lacan's work, and it is still very important to us. The first thing that can be said is that it is a concept that does not come from psychoanalysis, but from linguistics, specifically from Ferdinand de Saussure. To give a simple image of this concept, I would describe it as the acoustic image of a word, whose combination with other acoustic images of words gives rise to meaning. Why do you prefer to say signifier rather than word? To avoid being confused with the usual notion of a word, the meaning of which can be found in the dictionary. The signifier better accounts for how language works, and therefore, and this is the part that interests us, how human subjectivity works. Hi Spoder, how's it going? This is a super duper interesting game. Like, whoa. Rainbow Lights! How you doing, Connolly? There we go. Rainbows! Like, this is somewhere in the near future. When we've read some interesting articles about like how you own the copyright of your DNA and how you can modify the DNA of your baby so that you're like the diseases that you are prone to are not passed on to the baby. And there's like all deepfake material is illegal and stuff like this. There's some very interesting psychology stuff as well that I unfortunately have to like read through these major articles to get, but it's like it's so interesting that I don't even mind. Spooktober is over, you can come out of the blankets. Yes, 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 yes. It's true, although this is more like real life horror, not some like spoopy ghosts, as we were discussing earlier, but this is kind of very real. That could be a possible future. And our job, there was like CIA, NSA, FBI, those were like combined into, was it TSI? Like a tech... I forgot what it was called, but like I work for them, and I'm able to go to people's memories who have died to investigate like a murder. So we are able to construct a simulation out of their memories, and the machine can also identify what is objective and what is subjective in the memory, and we can like go between the two and try to figure out what was happening. We've just like started that, so I still kind of suck at that part. But it's really, really cool, really interesting. They also talk a lot about mirrors. Well, that was this very interesting article about mirrors, how like how one recognizes themselves in a mirror. Like, you're familiar with your mirror image, but then there was interesting connections on like if you see a photo of yourself that is from a different angle than you normally see yourself, you're like, what's wrong with my face, you know? And it was also referred to like someone maybe with anorexia. They see it all the time. They see that same effect all the time in the mirror. They see that something is wrong with their face and their body. And this is all really like I'm like, tell me more. Griffa, hello, how you doing? I'm gonna keep reading this article. As we have said above, the signifier, thought, memory of, or the elements of a dream, for example, must be understood in a relation of combination with others in order to grasp the meaning they generate. In a sense, our memories, thoughts, lapses, failed acts, and also our dreams work as a hieroglyph. Human subjectivity functions as an interconnected network where each element refers to another, and these, taken together, generate meaning. Above, I have said hieroglyph, that is, an encrypted message. However, in the way in which one element is related to another is usually like a metaphor. For example, for someone who consults us about pain in the foot, it could be that the pain is due to having taken a bad step at some point in their life. Of course, this also compromises the role of the reader or listener. It is not about making a dictionary of conditions and applying it to each person equally. It is the case of the psychoanalysts. We play the role of a listener towards whom that message is directed, and with the help of our patients who provide us with associations with other signifiers or elements that are linked in this network, we can gather the encrypted meaning hidden from what torments them. Was a very healthy, normal weight as a teen, but thought I was grossly fat because you weren't athletic. Today, you're actually fat. It's so weird how your body image is screwed by media and society. Oh yeah, it's horrifying, and I've tried my best for the last few years. I've tried my best to not only like recognize what is because of media, but also like unattach myself from it, and it's really, really hard. But yeah, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Like, I think it's more than just what we see in the mirror that is fucked up in our image of ourselves. I think we also have false image of what we can and cannot do and are good at, and other such things. It's just like the psychology behind it is very interesting, although I'm not very good at talking about these matters, especially on another language that isn't my mother tongue. But yeah, I still find it all fascinating. But I'm sorry to hear you had gone through that. Do you think that you, like, discussing that, do you think that like that was anorexia, wasn't it? I just like to make it clear. I'm assuming it was. Do you think that you at some point like got over that, and then maybe got over it too much? Assuming you're like objectively observing yourself, like that you're actually fat now. That it's not just a subjective thing that you think you're fat, but like, how do you think you got from like one end to the other? Don't think it was an eating disorder. I just had a level of body dysmorphia. Right, so it didn't go to the extreme that you like stopped eating and all that, but you just looked yourself in the mirror and thought that you were fat. Your weight is more to do with depression and self-harm. Had a lot of problems as a teen. Nori caring about food and making sure we were all fed. Okay. I'm glad that your dad has been taking good care of you. Yeah. I don't think mine was ever extreme, but I definitely did feel that, you know. Girls gotta be this and that and look like this and that. And yeah. I definitely felt that. But I always knew that I wasn't like overweight fat, but I could still point at any part of my body and tell you what exactly is wrong with it, you know? Interesting. This way of understanding Freud's concept in the light of linguistics was a revolution in the world of psychoanalysis when Dr. Lacan introduced them. He also spoke of the master signifier. What does that mean? Times when you were like, okay, maybe I should try out doing what others did, starving, purging, but thankfully I was fed enough from media that you felt scared to put your body through it. That's good. It's good that you recognize that it's not okay. Can't imagine how it is these days with social media and photo filters. Oh man, it must be awful. It must be horrible. Yeah, imagine being a teen right now. Like, I've heard from multiple Instagram models, or what would you call them? You know, people who make their living out of Instagram pictures. They're like, yeah, I didn't eat for 2 days so I could get nice pictures on the beach in a bikini. And I'm like, and then people expect that to, like, people look up to that and want to be that. And it's just like, I'm so glad that there are also like such Instagram accounts and whatever social media influencers who try to fight against this. And I just wish that they had more visibility, that everyone knew about them, instead of just like people who have somehow come up with it or like run into it. But it's definitely scary. It's definitely scary. This is getting a bit sidetracked, but I don't mind. I just like... Now I face into thinking about that, and... It's not good. It's not good. Your question is interesting. It is a concept that is not so easy to grasp. I would say that, to give a simplified notion, it is a concept that Dr. Lacan created to account for why these elements that refer to each other are not infinite, but finally came to find a base meaning, so to speak. That signifier that could be the bedrock of our subjectivity is the master signifier, a signifier to which we cling and gives us the feeling of having a place in the world, as our insignia, our name in front of others, facing the world. Of course, all this is related to family history and the first encounters with those who took care of us, who wished us. Okay, that was it. Very interesting. Like, so far, this is probably my favorite game to read notes in, because it's actually something that I'm like, whoa. Why do I hear these kind of sounds in my home?
A quiet night in my mostly quiet neighborhood. Sometimes the best work happens at home.
Also, home office pros. We've been also talking about security of working from home, and especially working from your personal computer. Seem to be at least rooted in reality. Yeah. It's not like they're all made up.
A quiet night in my mostly quiet neighborhood. I should use it more.
Yeah, like I've definitely... I've never really measured myself, but I think I've definitely gained some weight now during COVID and, you know, not doing absolutely jack shit most days, you know, physically. But luckily, I'm very happy right now as well, so it doesn't really bother me. What is this game about? We are sort of a near-futuristic tech detective. We have tech that enables us to use people's memories to construct a simulated space where we can investigate the last memories of, for example, murder victims. You've been widening too. Ooh, another.
This is Marie Tsu's speech when receiving a UN award. It was about AI, the future, and this building's design. They seem to be already using it. She seems to be quite optimistic on what can be done.
Yeah, I really like. I was just sad the other day. I'm moving soon, TM. Whenever the flat is like ready, it'll be a bigger flat, so I could have a like a spinning bike in there. Because I dropped spinning due to COVID, so I haven't gone. I haven't gone in months now. And like the bike that I planned to buy is no longer being sold, and it was like the cheapest one, and it looked like it didn't look like cheap, like shady cheap. It looked decent, but like everything, why are they so fucking expensive? Now the next best thing is like 200 euros more expensive. I'm like, no. Something easy enough to pick up so that you'll actually do it regularly. Yeah. I'm glad that I already got into like the habit of doing the exercise. Like, I truly miss it. I truly miss going on a bike as like fucking hard as you can. Something you rarely get to do out on a bike, you know. Usually you have somewhere to go, or you're like, even if you're going just a loop, then you know that you have to be able to come back home still. But when it's like standing still, the bike, you can go as hard as you want, and you can just like collapse on the floor. It's fine, but you gave it your all, and like I fucking love it. It makes me feel so good, and I miss it so much. Your office has a lot of free cookies and stuff, so you think you've actually lost weight working from home. Wow, that makes sense. Maybe it's good to work from home then. Don't want to feel like shit when you're outside biking. Yeah. Maybe it'll be on sale after Christmas. It may be. When the bike is home, you can die at home afterwards. Yeah, it's like, it's great. I don't even have to like somehow get home from the gym anymore. I can just like crawl into the shower and then lay in bed the rest of the night. Or your pizza. Because I don't do it to control my weight. I do it to be in better shape. So I don't give a damn what I eat that day or anything like that. It's like oh no, I'm getting all the calories back that I just lost. That's not why I exercise. So I just can't wait to be back on the bike. I wonder, I think there's a gym pretty close to the new place too, so maybe in the beginning, if they have spinning bikes, I might go there for a couple months before buying my own. Maybe. It would be awesome to buy your own though. You could just like spin away while watching Netflix or whatever, you know. Although it is kind of nice to have like someone like telling you what to do. But then again, I think I've gone enough to know what I should be doing. Yeah. Dinner cooking for 30 minutes cycle. Exactly, it could be anything. It could be anything. It would be so nice. It would be so nice. Water boiling for 3 minutes 9 times a day cycle. I mean, you do need to put shoes on for that, so that would take at least a minute. Been meaning to use your bike for some time, but you keep waking up so late that you don't want to bike anymore because you're scared it will make too much noise and neighbors will like, get upset. Are you talking about like an actual outdoors bike, or do you have like an indoor bike exercise bike thing? Goat's New Hope, Marie Xu. A Goat surprise replacement for the CEO position, Xu found herself at the helm of a tech giant without direction and plummeting stock prices. During her first year, she managed to cut losses and announce new AI-driven consumer products, which made the company a household name and turned a tidy profit. Under her careful guidance, Go Advanced Technologies was disrupted markets such as finance, advertising, automation, and now housing. Says Xu, the advances we develop in the next 10 years will dramatically change everyone's quality of life for the next century. I can't wait for us all to get there. Oh, you have an indoor bike. Hell yeah. Just play music over the bike, so the neighbors will be upset about the music. That's your excuse. I think you need to get rid of your excuses. If they complain, then stop. But I think you should try. By the way, Goat was the company that the deceased person we're investigating worked for, wasn't it? During the complex political climate we have regarding AI research, Xu has become a new champion for private sector developments by swaying the public opinion on her favor thanks to her well-publicized efforts, pushing for universal basic income, and cleaning the company up after her predecessor appeared in the Panama Papers leak. Don't know if noise you can make in your flat can be heard by neighbors. Yeah, me neither. I was thinking, like, during Spooktober I played spooky games and I screamed, and I wonder if my... like, I can sometimes hear, like, noisy kids from the neighbor flat. So, it would be very likely that from the bottom of my heart... screams would also be heard there. So luckily I run into that dude that lives there for every now and then, so he knows like I'm fine. But it's weird, there's like a third person living on the same floor, and I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen them. It's so weird. Trying to impersonate? I'm guessing that's Christina Aguilera? Maybe? Yes! I mean, you clearly spelled Christina Aguilera there, I see. Second article, the future is change wherever we may be. As such, we must be ready for it everywhere. As such, we have focused all of Goat's might into developing and training AI to produce the best solutions to the issues the post-human collective will face. Problems like affordable housing, sustainable living, and even extreme environments. Our artificial intelligences have, after a million generations, produced a result. A building made not just for humans, but for everyone. With plans including even the composition of the materials, we will be able to process everything we need from the site itself through our smart builder fleet. These buildings are lighter and custom-made for the terrain itself, designed for automated construction, and are intended to be self-sustainable, having water treatment plants, orchards, and gardens, producing everything its inhabitants need, leaving them free to live anywhere they have to. Be it a bustling city, the South Pole, or even Mars. Xu's announcement of the construction of this building while receiving the UN's Innovation Award. Goat's new building. Apply 3D printing to skyscrapers? Goat is making it real. Dark, tall, and spindly objects poke through the mist in a brisk winter morning like some titanic alien proboscis, moving in strange patterns on its own free will. Feel embarrassed every time when you're next to your outdoor and doing something and accidentally sinning, and you hear people walking outside and you're like, they must have heard that. Well, they know you're alive, so when they can't hear you singing, they're gonna be calling the police. Or so it seems. These are actually Goat's latest generation of concrete 3D printers building the first AI-designed skyscraper in the world. Made not only for humans, but for everyone. The future is catching up to us fast, folks. Moriksu greets me at the parking lot of the building site, flanked by her VP. Together we will tour a construction that is part science experiment, part housing solution, and completely cool. Okay, Mariksu is sus.
I'm swimming in an infinite sea. I feel small, but at peace. I'm thinking how nice it is that I don't need to breathe. Then a silent, majestic creature appears in front of me. Its eyes show indifference, peace, wisdom. Its movement, slow and graceful. I feel like it's the universe itself, but it moves on. And then I'm left wondering, will I ever be able to follow it?
Deep stuff. So, is he like a poet too? Okay, I think we've looked at everything. Our house is pretty damn cool too, or flat. Or flat. Don't know what that background music is all about though. It's kind of creepy. I feel like it's not supposed to be playing. It's still playing all the time. Shit. Fuck. Oh yeah, was Laura my wife or something? Chapter 2, The Drive. I don't think this shit is supposed to be playing. Let me restart the game real quick. I think it just saved. Give me the play button. Give me the play button. Yes. If it still continues, then I guess it's meant to be. If not. It's not playing! Yes! Tech talk.
Carl sent me this.
You know what? I would never have thought that. It's amazing. It really is. I mean, your parents must be very proud. Congratulations to all of you.
Thanks, Phyllis.
Coming back to your work, you've been there from the beginning, am I right?
Yes, we were less than 15 people, I think. It was like 30 years ago, a few months after the company started.
And now you're head of technology.
That's right.
Amazing.
Is this a long one?
So, before I ask you how smart you gotta be to do that, tell me, how did you guys move from being a small web research company with almost no investment into a company that leads on AI and pretty much every other technology for that matter?
Well, That's a big question.
But from a motivation perspective, what drove the evolution of the company? Was there a master plan from the beginning? Did you think you would expand to so many areas of tech?
Well, there are so many factors together. I mean, there's market share, emerging technologies, how what we already do can adapt to other markets.
The light bulb
Or
seems
let's say minimizing the risk, expanding.
very
Of course, there
old-fashioned.
was also the huge success we had at the beginning. That led us to decide pretty much where we wanted to go. But a master plan from the beginning, I don't think so.
But there is one now.
Well, you know, despite of what all the conspiracy memes tell you, there isn't. Just our strong core values.
Yeah, helping humanity with technology, being the good guys, yada yada.
Well, yeah, that's what we do. Yes.
I just remembered a picture I saw like 30 years ago showing Bill Gates' head next to an alien skeleton. The magazine found all these similarities and urged you not to use Windows.
Well, I've seen thousands of those, and they won't go away. It's funny that despite all the good a company can do, how transparent it is, you just can't erase that.
It's just part of who we are.
Exactly.
But this leads us to one of the topics that has us here, right? Not everybody thinks you are on the right track, especially with the AI department. And we're not talking about your traditional conspiracy theory.
Yes.
And some of them are influential, well-respected people. I'm sure many know who I'm talking about. But yesterday, a letter appeared on the web, and it did cause a lot of noise. For the people hearing us now that don't know about it, it was from Mr. Carl Chasser, a very respected psychiatrist and scientist. This letter criticized GoAT's latest announcement, which did, in fact, make the world very, very happy and excited.
Not him, clearly.
Not him. Well, he
Should I
criticized
go
it for
back down?
completely missing what's essential and saying it could lead.
I think I'll go back down here. I think the subtitles are more important than the objectives.
To the worst step in our evolution ever taken.
Yeah, well...
And give me a second. Then he says a number of reasons why this shouldn't be accepted by governments, and goes on explaining in a very, if I may say, and this is only my opinion, in a very sort of poetic but cryptic way.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't know where to start answering the letter, because the attacks are so surreal that we sort of would have to study the letter first and try to find out its meaning.
Yeah, it is cryptic.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm sorry to say this, but that is a very pedantic attitude. Pretty common along some intellectuals, actually. I mean, when I try to explain something to people, I don't try to confuse them first, you know? He's more than welcome to participate with his opinion. We know he's doing incredible research about the human mind, but certainly this doesn't help anybody. I don't think he actually understands what we are doing. He is incredibly paranoid, and he is full of dangerous mysticism. He's putting in our hands the responsibility of crushing surreal things that nobody understands, while in fact, what we are doing is increasing quality of life by a big margin, and nobody can deny that. Let me tell you this. Nothing we are doing is secret. Everything is what people want and need, and we are delivering it proudly and transparently. With all due respect to Mr. Carl, I think he has a romantic and dangerous view of staying behind in progress, and pretty typical of this whole go back movement, too.
You know, that's the impression I get as well, that he is incredibly paranoid, and despite how well written his letter is, his reasons are more like theories, based on other, more cryptic theories. Let me read a small section of the letter for those that haven't read it.
All right?
It says, "We are like reptiles that not long ago were fish, exploring the land for the first time, seeing how the rays of the sun blur through the water that gently covers our eyes. While we cannot yet explain or even wonder about this moving painting in front of us, we are inevitably inspired, seeking peace in the heat while we get to be one with the land." Then he goes, "Our greater tools are not the ones we know best, but all the complexity that hides behind our minds. Here we are now, beautiful reptiles, so far away from being human, thinking that because we found the trick behind the blurred sun, we now see far enough to define the range of what can be seen and the full reach of our desires."
I actually like the way he writes.
And the fact that he is a scientist also is what makes people follow him so much.
Well, that makes him intriguing, but does he give any real argument? Does he make any real point? Because you can't argue with poetry like that. That's not science. How much do we really know about his research, for example? I don't mean to discredit him or his partner, but we are talking about empiric, scientifically proved improvements here. That can only do good. So really, this romanticism is beautiful, but empty. When we went to the moon, you could have written a beautiful poem about the Earth and our lost relationship with it. And I bet that did happen. And it would be pretty and make sense, but would it have meant that we don't have to reach for the moon? It's like, well, I don't even know how to answer him.
I agree in the fact that the letter is almost like a poem, but he does give a few reasons, however cryptic. Would you like to go over some of them? We have a few minutes left.
Of course.
Okay, here's one. What they want to do is mix the unmixable. If you reduce human behavior to problem solving, then this problem solving eventually leaks into communication. And this communication is derived mainly from trial by error testing, since it would be an overpowered asset. However deep it might have been, you encourage a unidimensional form of life and you cripple all other dimensions. This isn't a problem on paper, but psychoanalysis has taught us that there is a balance between real accomplishment and effort. And from this balance, many forms of communication are partially generated, art and culture being two of them. If you suppress this with automation, you might end up needing it on a much bigger, dangerous, and ultimately unsatisfactory scale. It's a complex one.
Okay, first, as I said, first we have to interpret all this from thin air, since no references are provided, and then accept the fact that there is no evidence provided as well. This should be enough to undermine any scientific discussion, but let's give it a shot. I think that what he is trying to say is that by improving ourselves with AI, we are basically destroying our social ability, our full spectrum as human beings, and even our chances to be happy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So how is it then that with all the technology we already use day to day, the world is actually a better place than any other time on Earth?
I do think there are arguments against that.
We have our problems, but we are healthier, better fed, more educated. While AI houses do everyday things, we can spend that time with our friends, family, reading, or exercising. We die older. We have never cured so many diseases, and the list goes on. The bad side of things, like global warming, poverty, or kids stuck on cell phones, are not technology's fault. It's us who have to learn to harness its power properly. Teach our children, like we controlled fire in the past, when we didn't even know how to write. In fact, we believe technology will bring the solution to these things, not politics. So this announcement is about the next step of that help. Less problems, more time, and even more energy to think big, to solve maybe even bigger problems. It's like using a calculator. You can do simple equations with your mind, a pen, and a paper, but you can't simulate quantum behavior without the help of a computer. So it's time the calculator becomes something more essential, something your instinct can depend on and use in a split second. It's just a tool. It doesn't stop making you who you are. That's just paranoia, the same that appeared on every other technological advancement. This is no different from other advances. It's just that because it's not an external tool, it makes some people nervous. I don't blame people really, but time will tell how good this is, like it always has.
So, in a way, it's like being able to access more processing power on the fly, like an integrated calculator, but without changing the way thoughts are processed.
Exactly. You will just have more tools at a faster speed without the need to use your cell phone or charge it. And therefore, we may make better decisions and solve more problems.
Right.
It will enhance your creativity and your life in general, but it won't change who you are, your emotions towards other people, and the way you socialize. You can have a drink from time to time and have a good laugh for no reason. It's only a fast access tool.
I want to try it.
You and everybody else.
Okay, well, I think we're running out of time. Let me ask you one more thing.
Go ahead.
Do you have a master plan involving alien species?
Oh, you got me.
I knew it.
What?
Thanks for coming, Ted. I hope you can join me again soon.
Just say the word.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Ted Baza, Chief Director at GoAT's AI department, once again kindly coming down to talk a bit about technology and the future. Thanks again, Ted.
It's my pleasure.
Now, let's get back to some music, and later I'll leave you with the great Rosemary and her new selection of today's artists. See you soon.
I'm not exactly sure what they are talking about, but definitely some sort of integration between man and machine, right? Like some, like, Google glasses, you know, anything. But they did say that it's not an external tool. So maybe it is something sort of an implant. I definitely find that scary. I don't like, I'm not like sure, it would suck if you guys would hack my computer, but if you would hack my brain, I'd not like that. I'd not like that. Hey Snarky, how you doing? I'm doing good. I guess Eevee is that. Right, but that's technically an external tool. It's something, well, I don't know how it works. Like, does it access our brain somehow? Probably. Maybe. Also, they were talking that was like GoATs, but wasn't it the victim who worked at GoATs, and we worked at the TSB, whatever it was. Don't need to jam hardware into human brain to hack it. What are you talking about? Are you talking about social engineering or something like that?
After her mother died, we haven't been very close. She blames me for not being close enough, I think. For being too focused on my work. Especially during my wife's last days.
Oh wait, Laura, is Laura our daughter? I thought it was our wife. Okay. Okay. Propaganda and social engineering. Right. You are correct. Guess physically hacking something in our brain will be just more direct. But yeah, I do see the correlation there.
Laura's backpack. She's had it since high school.
Toilet paper accepted.
I think I recognize this luggage.
Is someone here? Oh yeah, someone was cursing while I was sleeping.
I'll consider it. A note from Laura.
Hi Dad, so here I am crashing at your house again. I guess that makes you the winner of our last debate. I'm sorry, I wanted to call first, but it's been some rough days, and my cell phone is dead. I hope you don't mind me staying for a few days. I waited for you a few hours, but I really need to sleep now. Haven't slept for a while. I'll explain everything later. Laura. Okay. I guess it's time to go back to work, huh, is it?
At this hour?
Hello? There's no one there. Oh. What the heck? I freaking love my outfit.
What is this place? What have you gotten me into, Tom?
She was murdered. See for yourself. I know you can reconstruct it. Someone must have forced her to go to these horrible... Alright, objectives, go away. Someone must have forced her to go to these horrible places. She wasn't like that. Or to this horrible place. I don't know. It says these place. There's like some typos. I don't appreciate typos, but the game is awesome in all other ways so far, so I'll let it be. Her killer must be there. You have to expose him. She just didn't deserve this. Don't trust anyone. You have information that is way too sensitive. A friend. What is that picture of? Typos are only in in-universe documents. They could be intentional. That's true. Maybe this friend of mine doesn't know how to how to spell things. Also, like messing up 2 and 2. Maybe it's just me because I've had to learn all this in school. It's correct on the paper though. Oh, that's true. Oh yeah, these places and 2 sensitive. Oh, okay. Feels bad, man. They could literally have copy pasted it there. Yeah, that's on the devs. So can I put the picture here?
Evie, can you take a look at this letter? See if you can match that picture with anything.
Understood.
And if there are any fingerprints or any other clues you can extract.
I'll start with the picture. I have hardware
Could have taken
limitations for most other
envelope
tasks.
too.
Yeah, I know. I'll build a decent scanner soon. Meanwhile, I'm sure my little project can be of some use.
I will try.
That's all I ask.
If we could scan for fingerprints, we should have taken the envelope as well. Do I now enter the machine?
So, anything interesting on the search last night?
I found 2 parts of her lifeline that may help you, but only one is fully reconstructed. This one is a childhood memory that seems to be connected not only to the password, but also to her adult life. The other one is a recurring dream that started about 1 month ago, virtually every night. I'll need to brute force my way to a reconstruction for this dream. I'll notify you when I have something that can be uploaded.
Interesting. Upload the childhood memory in the meantime, and keep working on that dream. Evie, please activate the control panel Carl was working on. It might be easier now that we have more than one memory available.
Understood. And letter scan is in process. Nothing found yet.
Thanks. Keep me posted.
In the subject's brain disk. This line represents the life of the subject lived and stored as memories on their brain up until it was scanned and saved on the brain disk. Different memories will appear as the dreamwalker reconstructs them. Keep in mind that sometimes external information is needed to reconstruct an event. This button allows you to exit the dreamwalker machine. Okay. Each point marked in the lifeline is a memory that has been successfully reconstructed from the data stored in the brain disk. Okay, so this one is new. Age 7 years, approximate memory time frame 60 days. Childhood memory that is the subject predominance over the rest possible connection to password and strong influence in future memories. How are you guys' memories? Because I feel like I don't have anything, like I probably couldn't have even like a full hour of my past memorized, like as if it could be played like a movie. I only have like flashes of this and that, and mostly like feelings and stuff like that, like happy, sad, like Good or bad memory simplified to the extreme. Same, right. So it always amazes me when there's like, if there's like flashbacks in games and movies and such, I always feel like there's something wrong with me, because it seems like such a normal thing that you have these memories that are so clear that I'm like, why don't I have this? You can reconstruct events inaccurately, but you don't have recordings of exactly how things happened. Right. I also, like, I don't remember stuff like what someone said to me, for example. I only have memory of how I interpreted what they said. You know how back in school, like, you were supposed to study something, and then the professor would be like, okay, now explain in your own words what you just learned. I have only those, my own words, stored in here. Remember also not to be trusted. They're usually very incomplete. Well, I feel that for sure. You don't like remembering things? Fair enough. I just thought that it's such a norm that a memory is like, it's a thing. Well, for me, it's very blurry and highly colored with, like, if there's been any like photos taken in that event, it's highly related to the photo instead of relying on something that I actually remember from that moment. Well, this is interesting. Objective state and subject. Let's click on stuff. It's a pretty common problem when it comes
Control
to
panel
eyewitnesses in crime
1.2
investigations.
is activated.
Okay. It's making me feel a little better that it's actually quite normal to have that. Because I thought I was missing out something awesome. Okay, there's laundry, there's apples.
Evie, what song is this?
Searching. I can't find a match in online databases.
Weird. Two people can remember the same event totally different. And I think those are interesting. Sort of like, did you guys watch or play Tell Me Why? The Don't Knock game. There, it started out sort of nicely, but then as it progressed, there was like the twins remembered the events quite differently, and then it was kind of weird that you had to choose which memory do you think is correct, because it was probably like a combination of those two more likely. But if you'd like to get playing, it was pretty good. It wasn't like a revolutionary game, but I enjoyed that story. Both memories were incorrect. Probably. But it seemed like one was like at least more closer to the truth than the other.
Maybe her parents?
Use time warp. What's happening here? And then he becomes a fly and fucks off. I really can't tell what he was saying. Is I being incredibly drunk? But he came into the room, talked on the phone, and then perhaps he left. What if one memory depicted the facts accurately but with the wrong feelings, while the other depicted the correct feelings but with inaccurate feelings? Uh-huh. I could see that happening. System needs work. It's revolutionary tech. I mean, I think it is pretty damn cool. So much laundry, or someone... Is this the picture of the mom? Because... Like, the memory of the mom. Because there's so much laundry everywhere. That's all she remembers. I have to do so much laundry. This is like a giant Lego dinosaur. Not Lego, Dablo.
A toy dinosaur. What are you looking at, Joanna? Another failed glass attempt. Although now it reaches further into its surroundings.
If that's a mirror...
Is it something in the mirror? Glass, mirrors... So many old superstitions exist about them. They are so impossible to interpret subjectively.
I don't think she's looking at herself, because look at this angle.
Another failed glass attempt.
Could she be looking at that scary poster wizard? Or maybe... I don't know. I don't know how it works. So much clearer than everything else. Yeah, the dinosaur was like this. No question.
In the middle of the bed.
I love that ladybug looking thing, whatever it is.
Children. I can't enter. It's like a black wall. Is there missing data here, Evie?
Nothing misplaced, and I can't find any close links.
Huh.
Weird. Gingerbread cookies.
Homemade cookies.
Okay. That's creepy. So much laundry! And a picture of a... Are those sandwiches or what are they? Heck yeah. Okay. I'm gonna switch modes. Now subjective state. This is highly subjective that there's a star in the living room and some asteroids going around it.
Her own version of things. Such beautiful innocence.
On a spoon, of course there's a spoon. The kitchen was very long. What is over here? Oh! Don't run away from me. Her parents represented as the sun. If you look at it like that, it's very cute.
Could be a defense mechanism.
Most likely. In current patch, they are unfiltered by default.
Are they using my behavior?
Yes.
Good. This will give them a much broader expression range. Thanks for the warning, though.
Find a way to pass through the subjective entity. Kitchen.
They are definitely a fond memory. Quite different from the objective state.
The cookies look exactly the same. What are you
Definitely
talking
a
about?
fond memory. Quite different from the objective state.
Is there a pizza? There's a pizza. And an endless hunger. And there's also a dog.
Happy memories are always saved in a special way.
That's a mouse. Hungry. Very hungry while answering the phone. Did he say starving? Listen to this. Starving. That's funny. What the hell?
Is it the same entity from the kitchen? It doesn't like it when I look at it.
What if I walk in there backward? Now the mirror works better.
Another failed glass attempt. Although now it reaches further into its surroundings.
Where's the dinosaur gone? She thought it wasn't there?
A spoon with books. A spoon with books.
Is the dog drawing on the wall? Okay, let's see. It doesn't like when I look at it. So I'm gonna go backwards.
Happens only when I walk backwards.
Okay, well, I did something.
I should keep going like this.
We have a longest kitchen. Cosmic brain. Heck yeah. There it is. Hmm. Is it important to interact with everything that I see? I don't think I can. A birthday cake? Hey! I found the end of the kitchen. What? Everything's mirrored now. I walked into the next apartment. Wait. I entered the mirror. Holy crap.
Someone's desperate to enter.
You know how like if there's like multiple apartments, they're often like mirror images of themselves. So I've just entered the neighbor's flat now. There's no mirror here. What is it?
Someone unreadable and the magic mirror show.
Look at the wizard. Wait. Is this now endless? Look at there's the hat. And here's the hat. This game is fascinating, right? Like, obviously I was interested in it because, like, I bought it, but this is quite something. Really liking it. Okay, that's not doing so well. The hat's from another angle. The kitchen. This is fun. What? I broke it again. I broke the memory. I think we're on to something though. Because we broke it last time too and we got some answers there. I hope Evie can get me out whenever I want to.
The path splits in two.
Well, the thingamajig went this way. The doodlerette. Objective says unavailable. So this is completely subjective, what we're seeing. So much shadow.
This seems like the shadow of the people that were at the start of the memory.
Right, yeah. Like a couple dancing. I do see it. Is it like a palm of a hand? You know? But like... See? Is that what it is? That's a big fella. Hi. I'm gonna stare at it back. Can I go? What in the... Okay, there's something there. Can't really move any more than this. Doggo! Doggo, are you okay?
That behavior was extremely aggressive.
Yes,
Could be a defense mechanism based in phobia.
a manageable problem replacing an unmanageable one.
Exactly. I wonder what it's hiding.
I don't know what I was supposed to see in the in the eye. I think it was the living room. Doggo! Come back! Oh, okay. Trippy. Trippy. Okay. Safe.
Could this dog be subjective only as well?
Did she only, like, think they had a dog? Like, maybe she played that they had a dog. She really wanted to have a dog, so she imagined one.
Unreadable. Maybe in the objective state.
Also huge. Okay, I'll come back in the objective state, but let me first take a look at everything.
Maybe it works from the other side. Evie, is there a reason the dog can enter there while I can't?
It wasn't resolved as a neutral space. The coordinates are only for the dog, which is a Class D entity.
Class D. Could it be made into an avatar?
Querying stability. Done. Mapping behavior.
Did I get to
Done.
be the dog?
Processing. Avatar transform awaiting input. Usability unpredictable.
I am the dog! Okay, let's go into the void. Okay, I'm gonna walk backwards because I can't. I mean, it's not really a big space anyway. There she is, just standing. Doggone has confirmed. What am I supposed to do with that? Fucking spoon. It's like... Why is there a spoon? It's a, right. What's this?
Interesting shapes.
Nothing ever interesting over there.
Kids, dinner's ready. Kids, dinner's ready.
Microwave food.
Kids, dinner's ready. Kids, dinner's ready.
I mean, don't blame parents for sometimes feeding microwave food. Okay, let's take a look at this now. Like, 'cause that's huge. They're in like such small position, yet they can barely fit onto the double bed. Can you switch to subjective while dog? Let's see what happens. I'm gonna change now. Oh, but this is... It was subjective state.
Evie, isn't this body a little blown out of proportion? For it being in the objective state, I mean.
There are no errors in the simulation.
Is it inside the scale error margin?
I mean, he's just huge.
0.11% off, but valid thanks to accurate matches on its surroundings.
Okay. Still seems a bit too big. We'll have to review those algorithms soon.
Understood.
Oh, do you mean I'm done here? I don't wanna. Not yet.
So the dog is once again subjective. A bedtime story, maybe.
Isn't this the same person who's lying on the other bed?
I could swear it's slightly different from the last time I saw it.
Really? Oh, they're moving.
One of them should be the mother.
Alrighty. It prompted me the menu there, so I wonder if we've seen everything that we needed to see. So I can only jump to event 3. Okay, yeah, maybe you need like all 4 images here on both the objective and subjective state, and once you get those, it's enough. Wait, I missed one. I missed one over there. Let's go there. So what did I have? I don't know what the first image is. Oh, that's the tunnel that led to here. Then there's the shadow of the people, and then there's the weird hand creature. So that's the hand creature. Here's this, but I can't seem to look at it. There's that. Oh, wait a second. That's a freaky door. Oh, is this where I came from? That's probably where I came from. Right. I think it would make sense if it was the dude on the bed. Because that seems to be like the obvious difference. I can't go in there. I'll try this one more time. Are there people on the couch? I don't understand. My mouse is for some reason still stuck in the... Okay. We have nothing from here. How did I end up here, even? They gave her the puppy? Did they actually? This is subjective though, so it could be a stuffed toy for all we know, right?
Joanna, are you leaving?
Where's she going? Hey.
Joanna, is it you? Where are you going?
Huh. Isn't this subjective? This is subjective. The lower part is subjective. I think. Let me enable. Okay, one sec. Let me enable so that you can see my cursor. There we go. Interesting that the subjective is brighter. Yeah. Is interesting.
Are you Joanna as well? Are you leaving the house? The light seems like it's leaving the house from under the door.
Okay, now I've gotten everything. I'll try to find everything that I can. We have the entrance, we have the dog, and we have the microwave food. What about the spoon? I didn't look at the spoon.
Are you watching TV? Could it be watching TV? I would have imagined the subjective static noise to be different at this age. Like little ants or something.
Alright, we've got it all. There's still one more thing. Maybe it's like, some of these are like two-part. You have to click on this, and then you have to click on something right next to it for it to trigger.
This seems like the shadow of the people that were at the start of the memory.
Right, but there's no one here. I don't think this is right. Did I come from here, though?
The path splits in two.
Yeah, it did. Kid, dinner's ready. That is the creepiest voice. I'm afraid it has something to do with the hand. The damn hand, I've tried it. I've tried it so many times. And if I click in there, it brings me back. Oh, maybe we can zoom in like that. Yeah, I think there's people watching the TV. However, I don't get it. Was that dog there the whole time? Yeah, this happened before. Simulation error? Right. The dog is not here. Like, the dog is not in the impression. Am I supposed to find a link between these two somehow? What if I go there anyway, though it resulted in an error? What if I switch the mode in here? I'm here. It's not found. What if I go back the way we came from? Does it show you where I am? Am I here?
This feature is designed to recall unresolved raw data that was lost by the user. But raw data needs to be discovered first.
Right. But it should tell me if I try to click on this. No? So was I in here then? How would I know anymore? How would I know anymore? What am I doing? What am I doing? Ah.
Processing. Subjective entities might react differently to an avatar.
Could I use avatar there? But I couldn't find an interact icon with the dog. I couldn't. The dog appears here, right? Because I look through this, and then there's the dog. What if I go super mega fast? Damn it! I've already found everything here. How do I complete this? How do I get out of here? I can go back to lab. Let's go back to lab. Because I seem to have been stuck there. Oh, fuck.
Upload is ready. Nothing else to put in there for now.
Well, I have a bad feeling that we need to find something in here. So if I'm in, for example, event 1, I can change to, yeah, subjective state. I think I just have to find this last piece of stuff. I think that would be the only way to complete this. I've looked at that. The eye symbols are very clear though. Not something that's very easy to miss. You know, look at that. How can I use an avatar? There's the dog again. I ignore the dog. Wait a minute. That was an eye symbol for a moment. There we go.
Joanna inside the frame? Is that Joanna inside the frame?
Did I get it? No! I didn't get it! Okay, that's not it. I just found something new. I guess I was too close to the dog. Anyhow. What am I supposed to see? Where's my vision going all blurry and narrow? What if I enter backwards? Fuck! Ah! Da 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 da. Da 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 da. What does the game want? What does the game want? I'm gonna put this on just in case. If you have any sort of knowledge on this, feel free to help me out. Or just plain blind suggestions, they're fine too. The dog is much bigger. Nope. When you use the dog avatar, where was that? Here. Excuse me? There we go. So can we now where did we come in here? Is this another? Could I like walk in there into the other? The alarm is for seeking assistance in the game. I do not know how to proceed. So, oh, here. Yeah. Yeah, cause like if I don't, people keep backseating whenever they feel like it, and yeah, that's just my way of showing that now is okay. Like I'm in alert mode. I don't know what I'm doing, but I think we're getting somewhere. I think we are maybe getting somewhere. So I'll take it off for just a second at least. Maybe the dog can see something we can't in here. Because there's, yeah, it would make sense. Oh, bye! It would make sense that there's a reason why these two are like physically connected. Well, I can't go there, but the dog isn't here anymore. But if I now exit Avatar...
Another child.
Hell yes! Nice one. I can't move though. I'm here now.
The dog projects a child's shadow. Maybe it's not a dog after all.
The dog was also in her death memory, in the form of a picture.
It was.
Exactly. Could there be a sister or brother? I was told by that detective that she was an only child. We need to find out more about this room and this child.
I need information about second child.
You again.
My good old friend Spoon. Okay, let's take a look at this. Is it gonna be a spoon? Or a pizza? I know what this is. This is the memory. Wow, okay, how did it become this? Okay. I think I know where this belongs. We just need to go. Here, perhaps. Kind of looks like one of Michael Bay's transformations.
The dog isn't here.
Yeah, we walked away. I mean, yeah, it would make sense. The dog can't really draw on the wall, can it? Can it now?
A time warp. The control is near the door. Evie, fill in this time warp with this data from start to end. Huh. Ordering food, it seems. 922 Klimt Street.
Oh.
Shinner Bar. Interesting. I could check out the real place now.
Ordering food. That actually makes sense. Let me guess. It's pizza that they ordered. Alright, now go back to lab. It's blinking. We've got everything here. We can go back to... We can go back to the lab. No. No.
Laura?
Hey, Dad. Sorry for crashing by without telling you. My cell phone was dead.
Is everything all right?
Well, me and Chris had a fight, and I left him.
Oh. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. You were right, of course. I need to think things through first. Did you see my note?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dad. You were right. I hope you don't mind me staying a few days.
No worries. Stay as long as you need to. I'll pick up some food on my way home.
Thanks, Dad. Oh, I'll be going out with a friend tonight. I promise I won't wake you up. It's just that we haven't seen each other for a while, and I need someone to talk to. But we'll see each other tomorrow morning, probably.
Yeah, sure.
Great. Thanks, Dad. And I promise I won't be a nuisance.
Don't worry about it. Talk to you soon, all right?
Right. Bye, Dad.
Bye, Laura.
No, no option to kick her out. Feels bad, man. Okay, so we can now go to Joanna's childhood. Oh no, why is that a creepy looking boarded windowed house? Oof. Alright, I'm gonna let it save. And that shall be where we pick this up some other time. Oh, this has a different face now. Is that Joanna, I think? I think that is her.